Hello, 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 and welcome to another live lesson with me, Matt Stead. I hope you guys are all keeping well and the sun is shining where you are. We've got blue skies here. You wouldn't know it because I haven't got any windows in my little studio, but we've got blue skies outside. It's really, really nice. So I hope you guys are all doing well. This afternoon we're going to learn a brilliant 8-bar blues tune called Trouble in Mind. And we're going to go into not just learning the song and the structure and how 8-bar blues works, but we're going to look into finger picking it as well. So this will work both for playing it as a solo piece, but also if you want to pick and sing or pick as an accompaniment, it works really well. So we'll look a little bit about technique. And I'll show you 2 or 3 patterns that you can use over the same song and see how it all works and fits all together and everything. So just before we bring everyone in, just a couple of announcements. So just to let you know, the next lesson that we're going to be doing in 2 weeks' time, we're going to look at the circle of fifths. That's this magic thing. We're going to introduce it a bit today, but I'll do it in much more detail in the next lesson. A really magic musical tool which will help you with learning your scales, how songs work, songwriting yourself, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of good stuff we can use it for. So we're going to build on the lesson from today, and we're going to really look into the circle of fifths in a lot of detail and analyse some songs using it, which should be really, really good. Oh, cool, Barbara. Nice. Barbara's playing a baritone today. I love it. I love it. Hi, Liz. Icon shows my name. Oh, okay. Gotcha. We've got you. It's Liz. We've got this. I'm not sure how. There is a way of changing your icon, I think, with your name, Liz, on YouTube. I think you have to go into your profile. But we'll see what we can do. It looks like Karen's already on the case. So thanks, Karen. You're a star. Hello, Karen. By the way, I hope you're doing all right, cutie. So fantastic. Pam's playing a new ukulele. Love it very, very much. Fantastic. That's good. Okay then, guys. Oh, there's one more really, really important thing to say today. I'll do a social media post about it as well. But it's almost your last chance to sign up for the ukulele cruise. This is going to be in February, and we're going to meet up in Fort Lauderdale in Florida. And we're going to sail out, and we're going to go all around the Pacific. A really great itinerary this time, going to St. Kitts, Antigua, Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, and I'll be teaching on all of the sea days. We'll probably have some informal get-togethers every evening as well, we did on the last cruise, and teaching you at the hotel in Florida as well. So it's going to be a ton of teaching, lots of chance to play yourself as well, and I'll do a little concert as well, so all sorts. And then the brilliant thing is you get the most amazing holiday of a lifetime too, because it's the most gorgeous area and a brilliant ship. So if you're interested, the last few cabins will be going, I think, this or next week, because Donna's got to give the final numbers over to Celebrity. So if you're interested and you're on the fence, get in touch with Donna as soon as you can, on dcurtis@bellnet.ca. The details are on my website as well, so you can look that up as well. Okay, so last chance to come along. Honestly, I can't recommend it enough. It's an absolutely fantastic experience. I had the time of my life last year, so I'm looking forward to doing it one more time, which is going to be great. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll just crack on with what we're doing today then. So if you haven't already downloaded your sheets, they are available in the usual places, link in the description and on the website, and they will look something like this. So we did this workshop quite a while ago. It might have even been like 3 or 4 years ago, but I thought it was worth going through again because it's just such a brilliant song and so much that we can do with it. But basically what we've got is 8-bar blues in the key of G. When we think of the blues, generally we think of the 12-bar blues format. In the key of G, that would sound, if you think of like something like Really, really famous example. Something like Hound Dog. You're nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, whoops, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. That would be classic 12-bar blues, and that's the most popular form of the blues. That's the one that you see time and time again. But the 8-bar blues is a little bit less obvious. It tends to be played more by folk blues musicians, and often was played by the Delta musicians as well. What does 8-bar blues mean? It means a blues format, so we're singing with some flatted blues notes. It has that bluesy feel. It's about a subject, which is blue. A lot of this came from slavery and work gangs and field hollers, so the lyrics tend to be quite dark. But also, we've got 8 bars, or 8 measures. What does that mean? Well, this one's in common time, so 4/4 time. If we count to 4, again and again and again, we would have 8 chunks of 4. I'll show you what I mean. You can even start playing along, straight along if you like. But let's just count as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, G. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4. So there we go. At its essence, we know there's 8 bars or 8 measures. Both bars and measures mean exactly the same thing. They're just used interchangeably. Bars a little bit more informally, measures when we think of classical music and things like that. So I think before we do anything else, should we just play it? Let's have a go at playing it. It's really easy peasy lemon squeezy. We've got G major chord to get us going. The 1 chord sets us off on our journey. Okay. Then we go to the 5 chords. In 12-bar blues, we go to the 4 chord next, but we go to the 5 chord in this one, which we're playing as a D7. By 5 chord, I just mean in the key of G. You can literally just count on your fingers. G, A, B, C. D is the 5th note and the 5th chord in the key of G. All right. Now, you could do that 2 ways. You can either put it two fingers down like this. Oh, it's Laura's birthday today. Sorry, I didn't read that when it popped up, Laura. Sorry, I brought you on screen. I didn't notice. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Laura. Happy birthday to you. I'll do a proper one later on. But I hope you're having a fantastic day, Laura, and I hope the sun's shining up in Scotland for you. Okay, so back to it. So the D7 you can either do with 2 fingers like this, or you can do your barred D7, where we bar the 2nd fret, 2nd finger down here on the 3rd fret of the A string. Okay, so we've got G to get us going, D7, the 5 chord, resolves back to the 1 chord, and then we get the 4 chord, which is C, G, A, B, C. Makes sense, right? Back to G. Tension of the 5 chord again. Back to 1. And the 5 chord again. So most of this song really is just D, G and D7 over and over, isn't it? Which is really, really nice. Just got that C coming in at the end of the 2nd verse. Fantastic. Okay, so let's play through it. What we'll do is we'll keep these chords going round and round, and we'll do at least 2 verses, but if we're enjoying it, we might do the whole lot, right? We'll go right to the bottom. Beware, some of the words get really dark towards the end of the song, but that's all right. It's a blues song. It's all good. It's all good. I'll stay on close cam just for this bit so you can follow my fingers so you know where you are. Here we go. Come in on the word mind of trouble. This one has something called a pickup measure. So we sing trouble in and we start strumming on mind. Let's give it a go. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always. 'Cause 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. I'm all alone at midnight and my lamp is burning low. Ain't never had so much trouble in my life before. Just keep those chords going round. I'm gonna lay my head down on some lonesome railroad line. Let the 219 train ease my troubled mind. Troubling minds, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. I'm gonna lay my head down on some lonesome railroad line. Let the 219 train ease my troubled mind. Everyone join in one last time. Trouble in minds, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. There we go, fantastic. Such a cool song, isn't it? Very depressing lyrics, especially that line out, I'm going to lay my head down on some lonesome railroad line, going to let the 219 train ease my troubled mind. Wow, that is intense, isn't it? But, of course, it's kind of, in the end, it's optimistic, because no matter what, the sun's going to shine in his back door someday. So there we go. I kind of like playing this in this style of Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash did a beautiful version. It's got a slight bit of swing to it, but it's very slow, very melancholy in its kind of attack, which is really, really lovely. So that's the kind of version I'm going for. So if you hear me warbling, it's my inner Johnny Cash coming out. I wish I could sing like him. He is amazing, isn't he? So let's have a look at a couple of things. First of all, what I wanted to do was just to look at some extra options. So works beautifully as it is, and if you listen to the Johnny Cash version, it's mostly just these very simple chords as we had written up there: G, D7, G, C, G, D7, G, D7. Each one of those is a measure, and it's quite nice there because you can really see how it works as a 8-bar blues. You've just got the same thing. You've got 8 bars, you can clearly see 4 here and 4 here. Well, let's just add a few extra chords. Don't worry, we are going to get to the finger picking bit. Don't worry, it's coming. But let's just look at adding a few extra chords just to make it a little bit more interesting. And if you enjoy this, you can do this in any 8-bar blues, and in fact, really, you could do this in any kind of popular song whatsoever. So if you enjoy kind of adding these little bits of spice, let me know. Maybe put it in the comments, and we'll bring that on screen. Me too, Barbara. I think he just has the right darkness for it, doesn't he? He's just, yeah. I mean, if anyone can pull it off, it's Johnny Cash, right? Okay. So the first thing that I've done is, and you'll see here on screen that the chords that I've introduced as changes are in red, so you can't miss them basically. And the first thing I'm doing is introducing dominant chords. Dominant chords are chords that have a flat 7 in them. You don't have to worry too much about the theory here, but when you add a flat 7 into a chord, it makes it want to go somewhere. It has a feel of being unresolved. I'll show you what I mean. So if I do a normal G chord, it kind of feels rested, doesn't it? I could just play that and it kind of feels fine. But if I turn it into a G7, just by adding this F note here, that's the flatted 7th in the key of G. Notice now, it kind of feels like it's asking a question, right? which gets answered by the C chord, which comes next. And that's exactly why dominant seventh chords exist. They basically want to move on to another chord. Now, if you're into your theory, I'm not going to bore you with this too much today, but if you're into your theory, you can look at the circle of fifths to help you with this. Basically, a circle of fifths is, and I'll talk about this in the next lesson in much more detail, but basically a circle of fifths are chords that go round, and when they go clockwise, every chord is 5 notes, or you can think of it as notes or chords really, 5 higher than the one that precedes it. So if we start at G at 12 o'clock, C, D, E, F, G, we always count the one we start on. That G chord is 5 above C. C, D, E, F, G. And if we count from G, G, A, B, C, D, D is 5 above G. Just to really hammer it home, if I count from D, D, E, F, G, A is 5 above D. And chords love to resolve backwards the fifth. So whenever you play an A chord, it loves going to a D chord. When you play a D chord, it loves going to a G chord. And a G chord loves going to a C chord. And if we turn them into dominant sevenths, that just means a 7. If you see a chord with a 7 after it and it doesn't say major or minor, that's just another way of saying dominant seventh, right? So if we turn those chords into sevenths, like an A7, because it's really unresolved, it really wants to go to an E. And if you turn that E into an E7, that really wants to go back to an A. Sorry, I got mixed up at the start, didn't I? I think I went from A to E. A7 wants to go to D, right? D7 wants to go to G. And G7 wants to go to C. So that's basically why we can put in these dominant chords, and they work. They sound really, really good. So if I bring the sheets back up for a second, let me know if you've got any questions with that, guys. Stick them in the comments if you're not sure. So when I go back here, notice that we've got a G7 chord, goes to the C, and then we're going to add a C7 to make it feel kind of unsettled again. Now that really wants to go to an F chord, but that would kind of take us out of key. So we're just going to hit the C7 and then go back to G again. Okay. And all we're going to do is when we get to these measures here, we're going to play 2 beats of each of these chords. I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'll stay on close cam. 1, 2, 3, 4, G, D7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then back to 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice that just really kind of lifts it, just those extra couple of chords, which is really nice. Let's just do one chorus with that in mind. Okay, get your fingers ready and come in on mind. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always. Isn't that lush? 'Cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. Let's do one more. I'm all alone at midnight, here's the change, and my lamp is burning low. Ain't never had so much trouble in my life before. Isn't that great? So just adding those extra chords, it really lifts it. And I think that can be quite important sometimes, because if you're playing a very repetitive song and you're not introducing any soloing or anything, it's really nice to have some changes each time to really bring it to life. And if you hear any jazz versions of this song, you'll hear all these extra chords in it. The next change I made is really, really simple. The 1 chord in the key of G we know as G, And instead of just playing a G, we can play a G6. And you might ask, what the heck is a G6? Well, a G6 is just a normal G chord, G major, with the 6th note in the key of G added. What's the 6th note in the key of G? Let's count up. G, A, B, C, D, E. How do we add an E note to a G chord? Whoops. Oh, sorry guys. I've had slight disaster. I've just knocked over my glass of orange juice all over the place. Sorry, hang on. Sorry. I'm just going to bring it back here, and I've got a cloth there, so that's fine. Sorry, guys. I'll leave you to ponder for 2 minutes on how to add an E note to a G chord. Then I'll give you the answer. Sorry, I knocked it over and it's gone all over my mouse. I'm going to have a very sticky mouse. There we go. It's not on the keyboard, so that's the main thing. It's not turned me off or anything, so it's just making things move. There we go. Right, we're back in business. Oh, that is sticky. Sorry, guys. Could have been worse. Could have gone on my ukulele, right? Okay. So, as I was saying before I went a bit mad, how do we add an E note to a G chord? Well, a G chord is made up of a G note here, a D note here, a B note here, and we have another G note up top, right? They're the same notes. So we've got 2 of those Gs, so we're going to lose this one. Take our finger off. There we have a G6, because now we've got a G note here, got B note and a D note. That's what makes up a G major. But now we've also got this open E string, and it gives it a kind of slightly this isn't very technical, but kind of I almost think of it as like trying to think, kind of like quite a floaty sounding chord. It doesn't feel completely grounded like others do. Sorry, I've got to wipe this top some more. It's so sticky I can hardly move the mouse. Oh dear. Could have been worse. It could have been coffee, I suppose. Is that going to move now? Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, guys. Anthony's probably wondering what's going on. I just dropped my orange juice all over my mouse. Okay. Right. So let's have a look at how to play that. Dead simple. All we need to do is just use 2 fingers for our G chord and just drop the note that was on the E string like this. Now, the great thing about this is if you do a D7 for the next chord with 2 fingers, you can literally just move it up and down. So that would sound like this. Come in on the word mind again. Trouble in minds, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. Let's do that one more time from the top. Trouble in minds, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. There we go. Fantastic. Laura said, "Oh, vodka and orange." Yeah, true, actually. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so we've added some more chords in there to make it more interesting. And I really want you, when you practice this at home, to do a bit of a mishmash of these. Try maybe just this one and then add your dominant 7ths, add your 6ths in, and they're all kind of interchangeable, which is a really cool thing about them. Let's keep going. These are just some other options. You don't have to do all these. They're just in case you like the sound of it. The next one, we've got a really unusual chord. We've got a D augmented chord. So a D7 chord, we can play it like this, as we know. You can also play it like this, of course. I'm just going to move that camera nearer. An augmented chord in any key, basically we just take the 5th note of the chord, so in that case D, E, F sharp, G, A, we take the A note and we sharpen it. So augmented chords, they sound even more tense than a dominant 7th. So a D7 augmented sounds more tense than a D7. Now, how do we sharpen the A? Let's find where the A is in this D chord. The second string down is a D. This one here is an F sharp. This one here is a C. And the A is right up here on the G string, isn't it? And it makes sense if you think about G, G sharp, A. Okay. So what we do, this is an awkward one. Don't sweat if you can't do this, because it doesn't really matter. It's just a bit of spice if you want to add it. We're going to put another finger up here on the 3rd fret of the G string. You can hear it instantly, right? Normal D7 with that augmented note. It's got more tension to it. You can rearrange your fingers and do it like this as well, which is how a lot of people do it. So you end up with these 2 fingers on the outside 2 strings of the 3rd. This one's just covering the middle 2 of the 2nd, like so. All right, but I think because you're halfway there and you've played a D7, I find it easiest just to reach up. Now that's a really tricky one, so if you don't like that, doesn't matter. That's the beauty of this stuff, right? It's interchangeable. It's up to you. You can play a D7 and it'll sound absolutely fine. But let's try it. Let's do it. So we're going to do this one now, okay, with the lovely D7 augmented. And we'll put all the other stuff we've done so far as well. Okay, here we go. 2. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine round my back door someday. Here it comes. Cool, really jazzy sounding chord, that, right? Really kind of jazz-tastic. Now you don't have to, like I say, you don't have to put that in if that's awkward, and it might take a fair bit of practice as well, because it's quite a tricky change. We've only got 2 more, and then I'll show you the finger picking, and we'll talk a little bit about finger picking, and I'll take some questions and answers on that as well. The next thing is just putting a turnaround. The turnaround in a jazz or blues song is basically that last measure, and it always ends with the 5 chord, D7 in this case, or D7 augmented, because that 5 chord makes you want to go back to the start. And there are some other chords that we can add to precede that to make it sound really, really nice. And the first is what we call a 1-4-1-5 turnaround. What the heck does that mean? It just means we have the 1 chord, G, followed by the 4 chord, G, A, B, C, followed by the 1 chord again, G, and then the 5 chord, D7 or D. No worries, Karen. Hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed your roam in the forum. Brilliant. So 1-4-1-5. Now notice we've got a really cool chord here. We've got a C9. Now I won't go into all the theory of this because otherwise we'll never get onto finger picking, but a C9 is just a C7 chord with a D added. And we do that just by putting your finger there. Now the cool thing about this chord is that it's only 1 note away from this G6, because this note is coming back here. That one stays where it is. But I find it easier just to flip those round. Or you could even do the G6 like this and then just move that one down. Then we go back to G6. Then a D7 augmented, but you can just do a D7 here as well. And notice that creates even more movement now. If I just do just the turnaround. And this is what these extra chords are all about. They just add a bit of excitement to the song, basically. Just make them a little bit more vibrant. So, guess what? Let's give it a go. Let's do this one. See how we're layering it up more and more complex as we go. Here we go then, from the top, with the 1-4-1-5. We'll do the whole lot here, whole 2 lines of these. Here we go. 1, 2. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. I'm all alone at midnight, and my lamp is burning low. Ain't never had so much trouble in my life before. Really jazzy now, isn't it? Really, really cool. Let's finish with one little bit of adding some chords in, then we'll add all the finger picking, and I'll talk you through that bit by bit. This time we're going to add a 1-6-2-5 turnaround. 1-6-2-5 is one of the most common chord progressions in all of jazz music. It goes back to George Gershwin's I Got Rhythm. He does this. I got rhythm, I got music. You might have heard that before. So we're adding that jazzy kind of lilt at the end. Notice that it still starts on a G, the red note chords here, and it ends on a D7. So we still get that kind of turnaround feel, but we've got a lot more movement. The reason it works, incidentally, is if I just bring the circle of fifths down in this corner. Let me just see if I can get that. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Notice that the E chord, if I come down right down here, look, leads to an A chord, which leads to a D chord, which leads to G, because we go back to the start. So this turnaround is informed by the circle of fifths as well. We're just going backwards around that circle of fifths. And then instead of a C9, I've changed it to a C sharp diminished, which is used for movement again. Now that's only one note different from a C9. This was our C9, and this is a C sharp diminished. Not a lot of change, but it works really well. And what I love about it, if we do a C diminished with these two fingers, we can then go to the G6 just by moving them across, and the D7 by moving them up, which is really, really cool. So it looks more complicated than it is. If I go really slow on this one from the top, it'll look like this. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine round my back door someday. Okay, that last bit's really sweet, isn't it? We've got G6. If you use these two fingers for the E7, all you've got to do is add this one down, and then A minor 7, let everything go, and then our classic D7. You could use an augmented there as well, but I've gone back to a normal D7 because we've got enough going on there, right, already. Let's try the whole of this one then, and then we'll get looking at that finger picking. Here we go. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. Let's do one more. I'm gonna lay my head down on that lonesome railroad line, let the 219 train pacify my mind. There we go. Fantastic. I've had a question come in from Anthony. Anthony's asked, on changing chords with lyrics, it always catches him out. Say start on a G with treble and play G until blue. That's really interesting, Anthony. Yeah. Now this one, what's tripping you up there is that this one has what we call a pickup measure. I probably should have illustrated that somehow on the first page. If you go back to that first page, really that first G chord should be above the M of mind. So don't start strumming until you get to mind and then just count from there. The rest of it is as is, so you'll be absolutely fine. In fact, I think Amora, yeah, you can see that on the second verse, the G's coming in a little bit later. So that's it's what we call a pickup measure, basically. I think the reason I didn't do it is it just looks odd not having any chord at the start, but that's in effect what's happening. You've just got that pickup measure. So if I go back to the first version, that will look like this. So notice I'm not doing anything until the word mind. Trouble in minds, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. And then on the next one, come in on Lone of Alone, I'm all alone, like that. One of the things that I've done with students in the past that's really helped them is to think about the syllables that those chords come in. And you can even get like a highlighter. I'll show you on my, if I bring my iPad in, let me just try that. Hopefully this will work. Oh, I haven't plugged it in. Oh no, it's all right. It's doing it automatically. It must be on wireless. So what you could do, for instance, if I was to get a highlighter pen, I can do this virtually, I think, like this. What you can do is you can just highlight the actual syllable it comes in on. So mind, blue, won't. And then on this bit, it's the ways of always, always. And so on and so forth. And if you just kind of highlight it, sometimes it just really helps you in terms of singing it. I'll put that big and I'll play it and see if that helps, because it's just interesting. Here we go. Come in on the word mind. Start strumming G on the word mind. It looks like a C, but it is a G, I promise. Trouble in minds, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. See what I mean? It just really, I think it's a really useful way of kind of really practicing and getting dead on those syllables, which is a really good thing to do. So perhaps on your own sheets later on, get that highlighter pen out and pop them in. Thanks, Barbara. Yeah, I love those alternatives. And remember, you can mix and match. Think of it like a pick and mix, which is really great. So you could do a verse of one, swap to another, and so on and so forth. Now, I promised you some finger picking for this one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look in our last sheets. We're going to take a look at how we could finger pick this. Now, these are just some suggestions. There are so many other ways you can finger pick this. And because I was having so much fun with it this afternoon, I even did an extra one, which I'm going to share with you guys, which I'll bring on screen like this in a minute. Now, let's just have a look in terms of form for finger picking. Ah, great. Good stuff, Anthony. Good stuff. So when we're finger picking, ideally what we want to do is have that ukulele at a 45-degree angle. I know I'm always banging on about that, but it's really important, isn't it, guys? So that's just dropped to my lap. The lower bout is just resting on my inner leg. That means it's not going to kind of squish away. It's not like a grease pig. It's going to sit there relatively comfortably. And then 45-degree angle up this way. So we don't want it like this, and we don't want it kind of crazy high. So just about there. That makes those bar chords easier as well. Look, say that D7. If I'm like this, it's really awkward to get that D7 in. But 45 degrees, nice and comfortable. So then this arm, I'm just going to move the camera a little bit, I think. No, it wants to go that way. You can see all my mess behind me. Let's pitch it down a bit as well. There we go. So this arm is going to sit roughly where the elbow comes into your forearm. You're going to roughly sit that on the lower bout of your ukulele here. If you've got a kind of a beveled edge or anything, that's there for that reason, to keep it comfortable. Then your arm is going to come over the top of the ukulele. Now, I wore a shirt on purpose to show you this today. You might have wondered why I was looking smart. I'm normally a ragamuffin, right? Now, particularly if you're wearing a shirt, this is really important. You need to crane your arm up. If I flatten, I'm going to mute my strings. And even if you're not wearing a shirt, sometimes that can be an issue. It also puts our fingers at a really nice angle. This is really important, okay? Because we don't want our fingers flat against the strings like this or flat like this. We want them just coming almost perpendicular. Can you see that onto the strings? Okay. Don't worry about the fact that I've got nails. You can do this perfectly well with fingers as well. Okay, I kind of have my nails a particular way. And if you're interested, let me know in the comments and I'll talk about that at the end. But notice that I've got them at a 45-degree angle. Again, I'm obsessed with angles, right? So this would be 90, wouldn't it? Or you could think about it as 0, I guess, like in line with the strings. This would be 90. But if I just move around like here to 45, it means I can see every finger and they can all tuck up without bashing into each other. And they're pulling up on the strings. Now, the other thing that's really important about that 45-degree angle... Oh, no worries, Fran. Good to have you. Good to have you, mate. Hope you're doing well. So the other thing about that 45-degree angle is it even puts your nails or your pads of your finger at a 45-degree angle as well. And that gives a warmth when you pick the string. Notice that if I do it this way, it's a bit more brittle sounding, right? Whereas when I do it this way, it's nice and warm. And that's because the string travels along your finger and ramps off it, which is really nice. Okay. So you're going to keep that angle on all of your fingers. You're going to pick the G string coming down with your thumb. In a minute, we're going to look at a technique which uses the G on the thumb on 2 strings. But for now, just let it take the G string. Index finger is going to pick up on the C string. Middle finger up on the E string. And ring finger up on the A string. So thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. And you can, if you want, anchor that little finger on the soundboard. I find it quite useful. It steadies my uke and it gives me something to lever against to move these fingers up. But some fingerstyle players prefer the freedom of just allowing it to float. It's whatever works for you. There's some nonsense about this kills the tone of your uke, but honestly, this is with it. This is without it. Now you tell me, there's no difference, is there? So maybe on a bigger bodied instrument it makes more of a difference, but I don't think on a uke it makes too much of a difference. So let's do that then, and let's just practice picking from the G string down through the C string, E string, and to the A string. Notice I've brought my fingers back so they're over the sound hole. That's not particularly a tone thing. I like the sweet tone you get here, but I find because of my long nails, they kind of interfere with the fretboard. So just bringing them back a little bit allows me to dig in a little bit more. And then what we're going to do, let's all do this together. We're going to pick G string, C string, E string, A string. Just practice it for me like this. And as you're doing it, try and make every string the same volume and roughly the same tone, because we want consistency. Like that. Okay. Now, because this song's in 4/4 time, that would already be a very simple but effective picking pattern. Let's give that a go. If I bring the, let's just go back to the simple version for now. We'll put those funky chords in a minute. So let's just do a simple version. This is going to be really basic, but notice that we could just put those picks on every chord, and it fills up a measure. It's a lovely way to get started and practicing. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. Gonna lay my head down on some lonesome railroad line, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my troubled mind. Sorry, getting all the words mixed up. There we go. Notice I sped up a little bit towards the end. That was panic setting in because I got the words wrong. But try and keep it as consistent as you can. Now you might think, well, that sounds quite boring. It's really ploddy because we're just playing on every beat. Boom, 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 boom. So what we could do is do that pattern again and again, but do it twice per bar. So instead of counting it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we could do it twice as fast and count it like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Basically, I'm just doing it twice through, top to bottom, twice per chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now that would sound like this. Let me just move this across so you can see what my hand's doing. I'll put it up here. You guys probably know the songs so well by now already anyway. That will work. Okay, so that would sound like this. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. Join in if you like. I'm all alone at midnight, and my lamp is burning low. Ain't never had so much trouble in my life before. And so on and so forth. Now I'm going to give you my favourite bit of advice for today, right? And this is really, really important. When you're practicing picking techniques, this could go for strumming as well. And if you've ever seen my beginner's course, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because I talk about this a lot as well. But allow yourself to go wrong with your left hand, because when we're learning to fingerpick, the consistency of your right hand, or if you're left-handed, your left hand, the picking hand, that is the most important thing. The worst thing you can do, and it's so tempting, is this. Because what you're doing is you're kind of stopping between chords, and that's forcing you to kind of build up the habit of not picking in time. Now, I'm not a horrible teacher, don't worry. It's okay to go wrong. So what I would do is just keep picking no matter what, okay? And if these fingers aren't ready for the next chord, keep picking anyway, even if it sounds like this. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine round my back door someday. So even if your fingers aren't landed yet, just keep picking no matter what. And I promise you it sounds a lot better, and it'll teach you to play in time. I'll give you a really quick example. Which do you reckon sounds better? Be honest. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always. Or trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always. Even though I'm not dead on those chords straight away, it still works, doesn't it? Because you kind of cover yourself a little bit with the rhythm, and it's teaching you to play in time. So apply that to everything today. And if you're finding it difficult to keep up for today in terms of changing the chords, what you can do is just play along, muting the strings. So if I'm doing the chords, you could still just play along with me to learn the patterns and just mute the strings. So that would be absolutely fine as well. And then you can bring the chords in later when you're feeling more confident. Now, let's look at a way that sounds a little bit more interesting, but it's actually almost just as easy. If we go to that final sheet again in the back, we've got what I've called the common time pick, and often I refer to this as a there and back again pick. Basically, what's happening in effect, if I just bring this slightly out of the way so you can still see it, yeah. Karen's just saying, doing a more syncopated finger picking with a little bit of a pump strum. Yeah, nice. Kind of think of it as a toolkit. The more things we've got in our arsenal, like the more stuff we can use, and it's really, really useful. So with this one, what we're going to do is we're going to pick, I'll just do an open chord for now. We're going to pick from the G string down towards the A string. And then we're going to come back up again. So if you like your strings numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, we're picking 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Or if you like to think of your strings as names, that's G, C, E, A, E, C. And what helps me sometimes is to say the word there and then back again, there and then back again, top to bottom, and then we bounce back. Try it with me. Subtitle to The Hobbit. I love it, Karen. That's such a great subtitle. I love that. Makes sense with the journey, right? Now, the only problem you'll notice with this is that we've not got quite enough beats, because if we count the beats 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, we're missing the and after the 4. So what we do is we rest after that last pick, and then we go again. Trouble in mind, I'm blue. Let me bring chords up. I realise that it's a bit silly to just start going off without showing you chords. Okay. So if I was to put that together, that would sound and look like this. Trouble in mind. Whoops, I'll do that again. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. We go there and back again, and 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 there and back again. You get the idea. So that's a lovely way to pick it, and that works with any song that's in 4/4 time. The other thing that we can do is add a little bit of swing to it. So if you think about when we were strumming this, we were doing a strum like this, weren't we? We didn't even talk about strumming, but hopefully you guys naturally joined in with me just up and down. Now, we weren't super robotic like this in straight time. We did it with a bit of a lilt, didn't we? So what we need to do is do that with our pick as well. Now, this is so hard to teach, it's almost imperceptible, but the best thing to do is copy it back. If you've got a camera handy, you can either take a screenshot or literally just get your camera out and just record this. I'll give you a second just so you can do that and just blab away whilst you're getting set up. It's worth kind of recording to hear the difference so that when you practice this back, you can do it for the swing. I'll show you what I mean. So if I put no swing on that, it would sound like this. Okay, but what we want with swing is where we're just going to play each note, the first and the third note, a little bit longer than the second and fourth. I'll show you what I mean. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue someday, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. You can almost imagine like a trotting horse, right? It's got that, and that swing, it's an almost imperceptible thing. I always give the analogy or the history that it was started by Louis Armstrong in the 20s. He really popularised swing. So bands out of New Orleans tended to play very straight time music out of marching bands. Da 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 da. What Louis Armstrong did is he played exactly the same piece of music, but da 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 dippity da pa pa da dippity da dip ba da dippity dum. And it came alive, and basically what he's doing is playing slightly behind the beat every other beat, and it's just something most of us do in ukulele without ever thinking about it. Most of us play in swing time all the time without ever even being conscious of it. So just be conscious of that. I'll do it one more time just in case anyone wants to record it again. Straight time is this. Swing time. Straight. Swing. Straight. Swing. So on, you get the idea. So it takes a little bit of practice, but we're just going for that swing feel in this one. Okay. Now let's first of all just looking at time. No, that's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Let's first of all just play this round, doing that pattern, the swing time pattern, literally as is written on your final page, first diagram. So that there and back again. Okay, just give it your best shot. I'll do it as we go as well. If you get out of time, don't sweat it. Remember, this is really, really important. Remember, allow yourself to go wrong with your fretting hand. If you don't hit a chord right, that's fine. You can even mute the strings and just okay, which is really nice. Louis Armstrong, Karen said, re-swing and Louis Armstrong. Be kind to your web-footed friends, for a duck may be somebody's mother. I like that. That's a great one. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so let's give that a try. I'll stay on close camera just in case you're following my fingers. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. Let's do another. I'm all alone at midnight, and my lamp is burning low. Ain't never had so much trouble in my life before. Okay, really, really nice, right? Now, again, let me know if you've got any questions or anything like that. Let me know. I'm always here to help. And remember, it might take a bit of time to practice that. Now, that's all very good, unless we're doing something like this, where we've got 2 chords per measure. Now, not everyone does this, but I really like to break up my picking pattern when I do 2 chords in a measure. I find it kind of just works more fluidly. So what I do is, when I'm doing a more complex version, I'll do either this or this one. I'll talk about this one in a minute, but I'll do either of these patterns or another one. But when I get to 2 chords per measure, I just do a down to bottom twice. I'll show you what I mean. I'll keep it on this page so you can see what I mean there. Then I'll show you of the chords. So I would go top to there and then back again. Sorry, there and then back again. Oh, sorry, I'm getting myself out of time. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm there. Okay. Now I'll do. Notice when I get to the C chord, I'm going to change from C to C7. Just like I did in the version we did on the second page. I think it's here, isn't it? This one here, right? So I'll put that G7 in and the C7. And I'll just go to a top-down pick. Here it comes. And then I'm back to normal. Isn't that nice? So it makes it easier, because when you do those chords with those measures with 2 chords in, all you've got to do is go top to bottom twice. And that's a lot easier to do when you're changing chords. But if I do that one more time a little bit quicker, you'll notice that it sounds cool as well. Oh, I forgot to do it. I'll do that again. Here it comes. So it kind of adds a little bit of variety, which is actually really, really nice. Shall, I'm going to get onto that one in a sec, so just ignore the second one down for a minute. But yeah, I'll explain the 3 in the brackets in just a sec. Don't panic. Okay. So what we can do then is alter that slightly. Because we've got those, we're missing a beat, so we haven't got a note on every beat. Some people find that a bit tricky, because it's almost like we're pausing every time, right? Which can be quite helpful, but sometimes it can throw people off their rhythm. So another nice thing to do is this one here. This will answer your question as well, Shell, about that 3. What we do is we add an extra note on the A string. Notice we're still going from top to bottom. we've still got that diagonal like that, right? Going top to bottom in terms of G to A string. But when we get to that A string, we hit it twice and then head back. Now what that does is it fills up a 4/4 measure perfectly. I'll show you what I mean. I come in really close with this hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. Now, the cool thing about that, this is the answer to Shell's question. If we do that in slow motion, notice that there's no pick on beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's why that 3 is in brackets, because there's no note on it. We've got beats 1 and 2 and, that's your going up. Then we've got nothing on 3, and then we come back on and 4 and. Okay, so it's like still 7 notes, but because we've got that little gap, it works really nicely. That would sound like this with a G chord. Okay, there and then back again. Let me come really close. G, C, E, A, E, C. Top to bottom, hit it again. Okay. One and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and so on and so forth. I actually hit one on 3 there by accident, because it's almost hard. It's hard to say the word 3 and not hit a note on it, but you get the idea. Let me do that round a few times. Isn't that nice? Troubling minds, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine on my back door, so on and so forth. It's got like a really nice kind of natural feel to it now. Let's give that a go. All right, so if you've got sheets, you can follow it on there. I'll bring the chords in. Let's just do the standard one for now. Okay, just a reminder. Okay, here we go. Troubling minds, I'm blue, but I won't be blue. I'm going fast on it. Let's slow that down, give you all a chance. Sorry, guys. Troubling minds, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always. But the sun's gonna shine round my back door someday. I'm gonna lay my head down on some lonesome railroad line. Let the 219 train ease my troubled mind. Okay, so practice that really, really slowly at home, taking time. Remember, you can watch this video back as many times as you want. Just a reminder, if you're ever watching back and you think you can't find a video on my YouTube channel because of an algorithm issue, what I do now is I unlist them, but they're still there. You just can't find them with searching. But remember, all of these are archived on my website, so you can access the lessons, the live lessons, completely for free, all right? Members get the sheets, but you can access the lesson itself completely for free. So what you want to do is go to my website, learnukulele.com, then just click live lessons, fortnightly workshops, because that's what these are, and then you'll see underneath Fortnightly Workshop Archive, or it might just be called Workshop Archive, and they're all listed there historically. There's hundreds of lessons, and they're in date order from the most recent to the longest ago. So if you want to watch this back and try this, you know, and maybe even slow it down, speed it up, pause it will always be there. Just go to the website, learnukulele.com, live lessons, fortnightly workshops, and you'll see. So yeah, fantastic. Shell's just saying, I see the common time pick in each measure. G is played twice, once at the start and once at the end. But in the added note, the G is only played at the start of each measure. Let me just check that so I make sure I've got it right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right, Shell. Yeah, you've got it. You've got it. That's exactly it. So we go down and then bum 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 bum. I've got a feeling when I was picking it a minute ago, Shell, I think it's possible that I was accidentally hitting it twice. I might have been, but yeah, only pick that G string once at the start of each beat. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Now, what we can do, again, is apply this method when we get to those tricky measures where we've got more than one chord, where we've got two chords being played at the same time. So if I go back to, I'll do the, no, that's quite complex. That might trip us up a bit. Let's do this one again. And what I'll do is I'll add those in these measures. I'll just go to a straight down pick so you can hear how it works. I'll just play it slow-mo without any lyrics so you can see how it works. I'll go a bit slower, sorry. Isn't that cool? Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always. But the sun's gonna shine round my back door someday. There we go. All right. So take your time with that. Really work on that as slow as you want. Thanks, Liz. Yeah, good. It's quite tricky at first, isn't it, doing that Pima style where we do a finger and a thumb on each string. But yeah, this should definitely help. And Angela, you're doing the right thing, absolutely. So you could even, like I say, not even worry about the chords for now when you're playing along with the video, because if you could just build up that kind of, it's almost like an inner metronome as you're doing it, you'll be able to do all sorts of fun things with these. All right, and try applying them to other songs. So you might do, I don't know, something like "Stand by Me." Let's have a think about the chords to "Stand by Me." See. Trying to remember them as I did. A minor, F, G, and C. Just as an example, when the night is young and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. I could do exactly the same picking pattern. When the night is young and I forgot what chord came next. And the Lord is done and the land is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. And then with the double pick on the A string, when the night is young and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. Isn't that great? So you can do that on any song that's in 4/4 time. It'll work really, really nicely. So yeah, simple top to bottom, Pam, all the way. Yeah, I even do that on jazz pieces. A lot of picking stuff. You can simplify and it works beautifully. So don't feel like you've got to make it really, really, really tricky. Just to finish off, I just wanted to show you one more pick because this is fun. This is just a really fun pick. This one takes a bit of getting used to, so this is going to be one to practice slowly and just build up as you get more confident. Let's see if I put that there's the best bet. Okay. Now this is kind of almost this works beautifully on ragtime pieces. It would just sound really, really fantastic. What you're going to do is you're going to pick the G string with your thumb. Then you're going to pinch the C string and the A string with 2 fingers. I like to use my thumb and first finger, thumb and index. So thumb, pinch. That's the first 2 bits. That's the first X and these 2 X. Notice they're both on the same, they're both kind of in line, if that makes sense. Then we're going to do these next 4, and this is just a roll. G string, C string, sorry, G string, E string, C string, A string. G, E, C, A. Notice I'm just using the same 2 fingers. When you put those together, you get this lovely ragtime pick. You can, some people prefer to use their 3rd finger when they do the pinch, kind of like that, just because it fits more Pima. But notice that the thumb is always taking the G string and the C string. So up close in slow motion, thumb, pinch, roll. Thumb, pinch, roll. Okay, now if you do that it takes a while to build up to get up to speed, but that creates a really cool ragtime strum. Let's just bring the sheets back so I can show you. If I put this down here, I don't know if I can have 2 things up at once, can I? Yep, turns out I can. Cool. So I'll just do it with this one. So in slow-mo, that would look like this. And then sped up. Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. So just something to have a little play around. If you do it fast in straight time, it works really well with kind of, if you do just some straightforward, maybe A7, D7, G7, C7. That's just backwards around the circle of fifths. A7, E7, G7 and C7. Have a listen to this. What's next is D, isn't it? Yeah. Can even add a ragtime. And it works so beautifully for a ragtime. It's just a great one to try. I'm running out of time and I did want to answer some questions. So I'm going to leave it at that for that one. I know I kind of went over that super quick, but it's here on the video and I can always send this to you if anyone would like it. Just my crazy scribble that I did on my iPad. David's just asked a question. Any questions, guys, do give us a shout. I'm always here to help. So David's just saying, do you use a different G fingering when going from G to G7? Oh, that's a great question. So on page, when we add that extra quick change in up here, notice that we go from a G chord to a G7 really quickly. We're playing it super fast like that. Thanks, Anthony. And David's just asking if I change my fingering. Some people do, David. Some people would do a G with our last three fingers like this. So second two here and then this one here. Because then you can just land that one there. And then C. C7. I find it quite hard to control this little finger sometimes because we've got small hands. So I actually prefer just to switch between the two. But notice one thing, this is really important. Notice that as I go from the G chord, my index finger scouts ahead. That's really important. It allows a smooth change. If I do it super fast, you barely see it. But what is happening in effect, this first finger's coming back here. And that's a really good, hopefully that's a really good tip for you guys. Whenever you're changing between chords, in general, if the index finger is involved, try and move that first. And it works with any chord progression. So if I go into an E7, I'll often drop that one down first. And the next two will follow that. Because they kind of naturally want to sit in position. G7. Trying to think, even a B flat, I might get that down before I get those, an F chord. So try getting used to leading with that index finger. There are some chords where it doesn't apply, such as C. Obviously, you've got no first finger, but yeah, something to think about, guys. So yeah, and remember, if there's only one thing you learn from this lesson, be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to go wrong and be patient and you will get there, guys. Any more questions at all? I just hang around to see if there's any more. Thanks everyone for all your support. If anyone wanted to download the sheets and they haven't already, they're available on my PayHip for £5, or if you're a member of my website, which I think most of you are, judging by the names, I recognise you all, you get them for free. So just make sure you're logged in on the website when you log in and you'll get there for free. Just in case anyone's had any issues in the last couple of days, members, I've got a slight issue in my app at the moment. It's fine on Google Play, but on Apple devices like iPhones, it's having a bit of an issue at the moment. The developers are working like mad on it for me, apparently. I don't get angry, you know me, but this was the closest to angry I've ever got. I made a strong point that I needed it fixing as soon as possible for you guys. So hopefully that'll be sorted soon. But if you're following my courses on the app and you can't get access at the moment, just log into the website. You can do it on your phone or iPad. You don't have to sit down at a desktop. You can use the mobile. Just put learnukulele.com, log in, and you'll get all your courses there. But hopefully the app will be fixed in the next day or two anyway, so that should be good. Oh, thanks, Pam. Love it. That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Fran. Well, thank you, Evan. I hope you really, really enjoyed that, guys. I certainly did. That was a joy to teach, that one. I'll be back and I'll be building on this. So you know the bit we did with chords at the start? I'm going to build on this in the next lesson in 2 weeks' time, where we're going to look at the circle of fifths in a lot more detail. So I'll talk you through this. I'm going to have loads of worksheets for this one as well, with the circle of fifths, but also chord progressions where you can fill in the gaps and things like that. So that'll be for 2 weeks' time. So Wednesday in 2 weeks' time. I can't remember the day off the top of my head, and I haven't put it on the thumbnail for some reason, but it's all good. If you could like the YouTube video, that just really helps with the algorithm. So if you could give the actual video a like, that would be amazing. There is a virtual tip jar on the link where you get your pages from, but if you're already a member, you're already doing loads for me anyway, but I always just want to mention that. And if you ever want to help me in a non-financial way, just spread the word. If you're able to share these videos and lessons, it really goes a long way. So thanks, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Right, well, take care, and I will see you. Oh, hang on, I got one from Shell. I just want to make sure I don't miss it out. Just peeked out the end. So you can form a G7 first, then drop the pinky. That's a good idea, Shell. So Shell's got a good tip there. So when you're going to a G7 from a G, you could get the G7 down first, and then G, G7, do it that way. Okay. But I find my brain just can't cope with too much like that in one go. I find it easier just to switch, but it takes a while to build up the muscle memory, doesn't it? So yeah. One last thing, sorry guys, don't forget our Facebook group. It's changed the name, but it's still there, exactly the same place. Just makes it easier to remember. It's called Learn Ukulele with Matt Community something. It's that easy to remember. I've forgotten it. Oh dear. It reminds me of that sketch. Have you ever seen that sketch with Les Dawson where he sits down at a piano and he adjusts his tie and he gets all careful and he's all really serious. And he settles down and he plays the first chord. Unforgettable. Oh, I've forgotten it. It's a classic. Anyway, sorry, I'll leave you with that bombshell. What was I saying? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you because my mind's gone blank. Have a brilliant couple of weeks, and I'll see you for the next live lesson in a fortnight. Don't forget to join us, Canacapila Monday, every Monday at 6 o'clock, where I'll teach you to learn to play by ear, and we'll have a really fun jam. So hopefully I'll see you there. And don't forget, come on the cruise. Only a couple of days to book your place. If you're dithering and you're not sure, come along. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I promise. All right. Take care, everyone. See you soon.